Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about factoring linear expressions. So you can think of factoring as the opposite operation or the opposite technique of distributing. So with distributing, you have a set of parentheses, you distribute a number with multiplication, and you get a new expression. But with factoring, you have that expression and you're going to go backwards to get that set of parentheses. So the first thing you need to look for is your like terms. So look at the variables, see if you have any variables in common, and you can extract that out of your expression. The next thing you need to look for is your GCF, your greatest common factor. That's going to be with your coefficients and your constants. Then you open a set of parentheses, and now there's two ways to really figure out what needs to go inside those parentheses. You can divide each of your original terms by your GCF and put the quotient in the parentheses, or you can find what you need to multiply that GCF by to get back to your original term. So a lot of this sounds very abstract. Let's do a couple examples and see how we feel about it after that. So here we have 12x plus 4x. So they do have an x in common, so I can take that out. And my GCF between a 12 and a 4 is going to be a 4. So then I open a set of parentheses. And if I were to divide 12x by 4x, 12 divided by 4 gives me 3, and x divided by x gives me 1. So it's going to be a 3 no matter what. And if you think about it, 4x times 3 would give me that 12x. And I have a plus, and I would need to, and if I were to divide 4x by 4x, I get 1. So that's going to be my final factored form. Let's look at B. So they have an x in common, and I see that the 30xy has a y on it, but my 10x does not. So therefore, I cannot take out the y. My GCF with my coefficients is going to be 10. Open my set of parentheses. I need to multiply 10 by 3 to get 30. I already have an x, but I need a y. So the term that's going to be on the inside is 3y. And I'm going to be minusing here. 10x times 1 will get itself, so the answer is just 1. So my final factored form is this 10x times 3y minus 1. Let's look at C. So they have a and b as their variables, and they both share them, so I can extract both an a and a b. My GCF between these two numbers is actually going to be rather small. It's going to be 2. 2 times what gives me 14, and that's 7. I don't need to worry about the variables because they share the same. Minus 2 times what gives me 20, in this case 10. That's going to be my factored form. And this last problem down here, negative 3x minus 6. So there are no variables in common, so I can't extract that. But their GCF is going to be a 3. And I'm going to pick a negative 3 because the coefficient in the first term is negative. This will make things a lot easier later on. So I have to take 3x and multiply it onto something to get negative 3x. That's going to be a negative. That's just going to be a positive x. And now I need a negative 6. Well, I already have this negative 3, and I know if I multiply two negatives together, I get a positive, and that's not what I want. I want a negative. So I need to take that negative 3 and multiply it to a positive number. And 3 times what gives us 6? That answer is 2. So my final factored form here is negative 3x plus 2. Let's say you want to check to make sure you factored correctly. Distribute. If you get the same term that you started with after you distribute, that means you did it correctly. That's called checking your solution. I hope this video was helpful for you. Please like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Make sure you share this video with a friend who you think could benefit from this tutorial. Thanks for watching.